Hey. Welcome to ComeonyespursTV. We are looking back at the match between Tottenham and Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. What a match. What a match. I've got a group of guests waiting, chomping on the bait, waiting to sort of, have a go at this. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs.
Hey.
This is not working for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. There's something happening that I can't put my finger on. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's just carry on. Okay, right. Guys, welcome to the program. I've got Yinka. Yinka, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. I've also got Tokes. Tokes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Beautiful. And we also have what's the word? We've got Deji as well. Deji, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. Good results. Really pleased to have 3 points off Chelsea.
Fantastic. And last but not the least, we've got Chuma.
Hello, sir. Happy Sunday. Enjoying the Stella Artois era. Long may it continue.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Welcome if you're just joining us. This is Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. Today we are looking back at the match between Tottenham and Chelsea. What a match. What a match. I mean, I know you guys are chomping at the bait, and, we ended up coming away 2-0 winners. And it was possibly an unexpected result on many levels, wasn't it? Did you want to have a go first? Because I know you have this view, which I think you just want to let it out. Let it out first, and then we'll come back and deal with it.
To be perfectly honest, I was optimistic that we could win. I mean, Chelsea have been so poor over the last few weeks and months. I thought it was a good opportunity, a good time to be playing them. And it turned out that way. They played around us very well, but they completely lacked any finished product. They hardly looked like scoring. My only quarrel is I thought we could have played a lot better. I didn't think we played very well. I thought we were mostly reactive. And at the end of the day, really opportunistic. We scored because they made mistakes. We didn't score because of chances that we created. Yes, one goal was from a corner, which we worked well. But the Skippy goal, I think again was us pressing in the last third, winning the ball and sticking it in. But I thought we didn't keep the ball very well, and I thought we gave them too much of the football.
Right. So that's an interesting analysis, right? Now you find that in most matches you're going to have phases of play when you have the ball, phases of play when you don't have the ball, right? The phases of play when you don't have the ball means that you have to be compact as a unit and prevent them from creating opportunities. I don't think Chelsea created that many opportunities that were that threatening to us. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else had that same view of that match. I know we didn't keep the ball quite well, but I guess the way we were set up in the first place, that kind of made that happen. But when we needed to be effective, I think we were clinical in the way that we took our chances. I think we had we'll come to the chances a little bit later on. Chuma is smiling.
No, I'm smiling because I sort of agree with Deji's point, and it's something like you guys have said. I've moved to the dark side. I'm in the dark side of Spurs fans who I don't enjoy the football. I don't enjoy how we're playing, and it's everything he said is right. There's no ball retention, but from minute one, you could just see they were just moving backwards. You knew. So it was a contained job and a counter job. That's all Stellini was. His instructions from Conte were just to hold and break, hold and break. And it's interesting. I mean, it's only good when it wins. If you get 3 points, you hardly have any complaints. It's only when you lose. And I like I said in the preview, the thing about Chelsea that's interesting is Chelsea have no focal point striker. That's what's killing them right now. And it's something that's always killed Graham Potter. He had the same problem at Brighton. He never had a striker he could really depend on. And because of that, everything else pretty they do never works out. And that's Spurs' great fortune was Chelsea do not have a killer striker. If they had a Kane playing up front and not Kai Havertz, they would have damaged us. And so that's my thing. It was good, and then we're a second half team, as everyone knows. So you're expecting second half, and when we scored the Skippy goal, you're like, just get a second one, and we'll be safe because these guys can't score for anything. So that's what you're like. It was a good containing game. They contained very well, but if Chelsea had that guy, we would be dead.
Isn't that interesting? Now, on my Spurs forum, which most of us belong to, we had
I don't.
comments. I know, but hey, listen. I said most of us. I said.
I don't.
I made this comment that look, I'm struggling to find how people are really negative about this win, you know. And lo and behold, I come to this this broadcast.
It's not negative. We still congratulated the 3 points. We still congratulated the 3 points. It's just pointing out.
All right, fair enough. Talks. What did you make overall of this match? I mean, I know we're gonna go into detail in a few minutes. You know, tell me what did you think?
Well, I was very happy with the display. Number one, for once, we were not defending in our 18. The press was much higher, which meant that when we recover the ball, we recover it in a better position to attack. So that made the job less stressful for us watching because we were recovering the ball much earlier. Then I like the fact that Richarlison started. What he does, I'm not sure whether a lot of people appreciate it, his defensive quality, pressing from that wing, not allowing their wing backs or left winger move ahead is very, very good because it again helps us contain them in their own half. And that's how we're able to score at least both our goals. So I was very happy with the game actually. Because we're a team that plays contained football. But when we try and contain in our half or in our 18, that's when we have a problem. But when we contain further up, which means pressing further up, it's much better for us. And we saw that today.
Thanks for that. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the containing parts it's effective when it comes off, as in, I mean, you don't concede goals, you don't let or allow the other team to create that many opportunities to score against you or scoring chances. You know, I thought we did that quite well. I mean, even though I was kind of holding on to my mug of tea, very very or coffee, right? Very very strongly, you know, thinking that I'll need this, you know. But hey, it proved. I don't know if it's a matter of us playing well or Chelsea being so poor. I mean, what do you think, Ika?
Yeah, I think it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, as the saying goes. Because as good as we were, as poor Chelsea were, I mean, they got let off lightly. We could have had that second half with them down to 10 men, just because that they got rattled. We really did rattle them in the first half. We had Cuti Romero that I was saying that could start a fight by himself in an empty room. That's how worked up he was for his first match. He was going up in through them. He was really bossing the strikers. Just a quick side note. My brother Chuma is definitely on the dark side because he looks like Luke Scott, Anakin Walker wearing black. He really is on the dark side. He's taking this one to the next level, though. But yeah, saying that, just to answer your question, yeah, I think Chelsea were pretty poor and they deserve the place where they are currently in the Premier League. There wasn't anything that struck me that, that when we usually play Chelsea, that strikes fear into us. Chuma did also mention about the lack of a centre forward. They actually had one on their $500 million bench that they had at Tottenham Hotspur today. You know, they had Aubameyang on the bench, which is, you know, Aubameyang has dealt with us before. If Potter had any right mind with his past history of him playing against Tottenham, he would have played Aubameyang from the beginning at least, or given him more minutes to be able to do something in the game. And when Aubameyang came on, you saw his frustration anyway, because he wasn't getting any supply from any of the wide men or the midfield or any creativity going forward. So that's a big issue with them, is that they're solid. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea are a solid team, but that cutting edge they're really lacking at the moment. So Chelsea with their $500 million, in fact, Chelsea's bench must probably cost half the cost of our stadium. To be fair, just sitting there on the bench watching the game. You know, so good luck to them. Good luck. Just put the money up the wall, I think. Useless guy. Going forward. So that's a big issue with them, is that they're solid. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea are a solid team, but that cutting edge they're really lacking at the moment.
Overall,
so Chelsea with their $500 million, in fact, Chelsea's bench probably cost half the cost of our chances. To be fair,
with the points. That's essentially the summary here, isn't it?
You know, so good luck to them. Just put the money up the wall, I think.
Sorry, he's still echoing.
Yeah, I have got a bit of feedback as well. That's the reason why I shut up, because I'll keep talking forever.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on here. Just bear with me one second. Okay.
Anybody hear this?
Yeah, we did, and Skip, who, yeah, it's still going on. Stop now.
Right, stop now.
You stop. Yeah, stop.
It's stopped now.
Right. Okay. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, I think Chuma was saying so.
We took our chance. Yeah, we took our chances very well. I'm very impressed with Skip, because I've always said that he's someone I felt he deserved more minutes than he got, and very tidy player. He's very, very good. I've been watching him for a long time, and I know I pride myself on being a decent judge of football players, and I like players who know how to move a ball. I just feel he's not playing the position he should play. He's more a defensive midfield player than a central midfield player. But unfortunately, the system or the formation makes him play central midfield, and what Conte wants from him in central midfield, I don't think he can do. But in games like this, that derbies where you have a lot of physicality, defensive midfield players are excellent in these games, and I think he really stepped to the fore. And then taking that shot first time, I thought that's the mark of confidence in a player, where he just looked and said, you know, why don't I just go for this? And he went for it. And I hope he continues, because he's had chances before in other games where he's had a chance to pull the trigger and he ends up passing. And I'm like, no, just try, just keep trying, you know. And it was really, really good. And then Richarlison, I think same thing. I think Richarlison needs games. I just think he needs games. It's unfortunate that he hasn't had as many games. Defensively, he moved back a bit, but I think a huge shout to go to Fraser Forster as well. I don't think Fraser Forster is someone that isn't getting a lot of praise for coming in for Lloris, but that guy is a mountain. He's a mountain of a human being, and there was a chance where he just literally spread himself and got that ball. The guy is amazing, you know. And they're just some little unsung heroes in the Spurs side, and it's just, I felt like in this kind of game, Bentancur would have been really good. You know, in terms of what Did you were saying about keeping possession and the ball, this is why you look at Bentancur and you realize what he was there for. Bentancur was really good at doing that, really good at little short passes and recycling, moving. So without him in that kind of game, the other midfielders can't do it as well. But it was really, yeah, it was good. 2 chances taken, and you had those chances in front of goal, and you score. Brilliant. So that's it.
Yeah, it's I'm getting plenty of comments coming in. I've got Ben. Ben, he says, "You come from the dark side. You're praising us now, Chuma." You know. And
Ben should enjoy Florida on his birthday.
I know,
it's
right?
a birthday 3 points for him. He should be happy.
He also says that Spurs smashed the midfield, you know. smashing from the high streets. That's Ben on the comments. Keep the comments coming in. Says Richie is still feeling his way, and he'll come good, as Zeus would say. You know, yeah. So that's
This will come good.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, talks. Okay, so we had Skip scoring the first goal. I mean, absolute blinder. You know, I mean, and we've always had this discussion within the group about the difference. Okay, about who to play in that role while Bentancur is away. You know, do we play Mr. Young Mr. Sarr, or do we play Skip? You know, I thought in the preview to this match, I thought Skip gave a very very good impression of himself when we played West Ham. You know, even though he got an early yellow card, he still managed to control the game and control the tackles and play the key role in maintaining that balance in the midfield. You know, and Chuma said something that, look, ultimately we're going to have either Mr. Vieira or Yaya Toure on our hands in the guise of young Mr. Sarr. You know, and so what do you think, Tokes?
I didn't get the question very well. As in, who should have played in that position, Sarr or Skip?
Well, exactly. So I'm saying that we have an abundance of riches in our hand now.
Okay, in that field. Well,
carry on.
Yeah. Going back to Skip's goal, a lot of people missed what he did first before he scored. He literally bullied Felix. He used muscle to bully Felix.
Man.
Yeah, and then steadied himself for the shot. So it was almost like a 2-in-1. So honestly, enough respect, and I'm really pleased with him. Sarr, as Chuma said, he's coming up. I also see him as a Yaya Toure kind of player. But starting Skip today, obviously with benefit of hindsight, I'm very happy with Stellini's. Is this Stellini or Stellini's starting lineup?
Stellini.
Yes. Soji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my summary. So okay. I'm happy that
I was looking at the lineup at the beginning, and I thought to myself, okay, fine, we're playing the same team that we lined up against West Ham, right? Against Chelsea, and I thought, okay, we still have Son on the bench. Was that a good move? Having Son on the bench instead of Deji.
Yes, I think so. I think for a while I've thought that Son needed a break, and more importantly, I've thought that Richarlison needed a run in the team. You will see that with successive games, he's actually getting better. When he got his first start, or in fact, when he came on, you could see that he was rusty when he came on as a sub earlier. But the more games he plays, the better he's going to be for us. I think that's one of the things that if I have a grouse against Conte, it is that he does not rotate his players enough at all, so that you end up with a lot of players that are rusty and a lot of players that are being overplayed. I think he needs to play the likes of Richarlison more, and even Danjuma should be getting a run in every now and again. Like in this game, with a few minutes to go, there'll be nothing wrong with getting Danjuma on for about 5-10 minutes to just start bedding in with the team. So it's a bit of a problem, but I'm happy with the substitutions. I'm happy with Skippy. I think Skippy deserves to be ahead of Sarr, and I think he's justified that. He's a more experienced player. He understands the Premiership better, so I think he deserves his start, and he's certainly proved his worth in the team. So yeah, happy with the team today. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Richarlison is getting a bit of a run on the team now, but you've got to sort of, I mean, in a way, be fair. Because if you think about it, he's been injured for most of the season, and he hasn't been available consistently. And if also, I guess, if you want to sort of call it that way, I mean, there are times when Son wasn't playing too great, but we didn't have the option of having him on the bench to come on. We had Brown Hill, for a bit of the time. I mean, Mr. Mora was also injured as well. So it's very, very limited options in terms of being able to rotate the squad in that side of the field. So it's easy to say we don't rotate, but the truth of the matter was that he didn't really have that many options because of the injuries that we had in the team at the time. But I think overall, I mean, we've kept clean sheets in our home games in the last 3 matches. I thought that's quite remarkable. What do you think, Yinka?
3 clean sheets from the whale. That was. I didn't see that one coming, because after that first game when we saw him diving and it took him 1 week to hit the ground like this, I was surprised that he'll be able to come back like he did. Whoever's out there, if you go watch the film The Whale, then you know what I'm talking about. When you go watch the film The Whale, Fraser the Whale. But I'm really enjoying listening to my panel today and listening to the rest of the guys because they're really spot on in regards to the way that Totti approached this game. I want to throw a question, and I'm sorry to divert from the question you asked me, but I want to throw the question to the guys on the panel in regards of what is your impressions of Stellini at the wheel? Would you want Don Conte to stay and chill with his family for a few more weeks? Because he looks capable at the moment. That thing of bringing Poro on in front of Royale to stop any more attacks coming down the right, that's sensible thinking. That's someone that is watching the game and saying, let's just kill this game and manage this game from where. So I don't think in the last 4 games, in this 100% record that he's had at Tottenham, Stellini, he hasn't put a foot wrong for me. And the players look like that. I always give the figure of the substitute teacher. When the substitute teacher comes to class, you'll relax, you enjoy yourself. You'll be playing like more. Before the headmaster comes back, Don Conte. So I feel there's a feeling of relaxation. They seem that they're responding to Stellini. And I just want to throw back to you guys. Could you see him at the helm for another couple more weeks? Because he doesn't seem to be doing much wrong.
It's easy for us to. I mean, guys, who wants to take this? I mean, I'll come in with my thoughts in a minute, but anyone want to take this?
I think Chuma has a view on this. I think he has already expressed. So let's hear him.
No, my view is always the same thing. I think it gets to a point where when the team isn't playing very well, I think the managers are under pressure and the pressure leaks out to the players, and the players are always looking to the bench. If the players are always looking to the bench in fear, they had that with Mourinho a lot because and Mourinho does it at his clubs. Sorry to bring Mourinho up, but there was that whole thing with Luke Shaw. I'm coaching him, If the players are not scared of doing what comes naturally to them, and I think a lot of players are very natural, and when they have to abide by your patterns and you start screaming your patterns out of them, Stellini is not a screamer. I still believe he's under instructions from Conte. However, because of the fact it's not Conte himself, and Conte isn't like, when you turn around and look at, I've done something wrong, Conte's face, Conte betrays his emotions too much. And that works with players when you're on a winning streak. But when you're on a losing streak or you're conceding a lot of goals or things are happening, the way Spurs were conceding 2 goals a game, sometimes you don't want to see the hard taskmaster manager, his disapproving looks and stuff. It's more relaxed now. They go in at halftime and he's not going to scream at them. They're just going to hear Stellini and Ryan Mason, who are very chilled guys. You can see from the demeanor of both guys. And I think Stellini likes working with Ryan Mason as well. I think Ryan Mason has more of an input with Stellini. That's just my observation. And I think they make it easier for the players to think. But in terms of there are lots of things as well you can say things have changed, but look at it as well. Ben Davies is playing left wing back. And that's very interesting for me because as everybody on our Nigerian Spurs group knows, I'm a Ben Davies fan. I feel Ben Davies is the kind of guy that no manager will get rid of him. He's this guy, he's just stable. He comes to training on time, he has no scandals. And when he played
Milner for Liverpool, like Milner.
Yeah, like Milner, exactly like Milner. When he played left back for Pochettino, Pochettino played his left back and right back like wing backs. That's if you guys cast your mind back to Danny Rose and Kyle Walker. When Davis came in, Davis was a more conservative version of Danny Rose. He could still do the back and forth and he could still pass very well, but he just wasn't as athletic to get back and forth. Like Rose was more dynamic, but he was good and he understood the role. So him now playing left wing back, I'm actually playing quite well. A lot of people are surprised, or they're saying that it's because he's always played left wing back under Pochettino, but he was not flashy and he wasn't athletic. And now he has cover more or less, and he's just doing exactly what it says on the tin. So it's helped a lot. It's helped whoever's played on that side as well. And I think Perisic, I love Perisic. Well, Perisic is a left winger, not a left back wing back. He plays left wing back, but he's a left winger. And this guy is a left back, playing left wing back and left centre back. I think he has more understanding of the left side than Perisic did. And you're seeing all these things. And if Conte has discovered this now, it's actually a very good compromise to what he had before. And Perisic is still great, but there are certain matches Perisic would shine in. But in these kind of London derbies and physical games and all that, I always look at Ben Davies as something. So that's just what I think. Stellini, I would love him to stay, but I know Conte is coming back, but certain things have been tweaked. So Conte is coming back to better, I think, than what he had when he was sick.
Keep your comments coming in. This is ComeonyespursTV, where we talk about everything Spurs, and we're reviewing the match between Tottenham and Chelsea. I mean, London derby, West London against North London. We haven't done very well in this match or in this fixture for such a very, very long time. In actual fact, this is the first time we're beating them at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium since it was built. The last time
I was seen.
You know, the first time, the last time we beat them was where we were at Wembley as tenants. You know, so yeah, it's been a long time coming, and I thought overall we came out on top when we needed to, and I think we needed those points when you think about it, because we have Newcastle on breathing down our necks, even though we got 2 games in hand against them. But the key is that points on the board always matters, doesn't it? You know, I was saying earlier on that, look, ultimately we need to sort of put our foot down, you know, and the guys seem to be doing it. 3 clean sheets on the trot. I mean, I know you didn't answer the question, Yinka, but hey, you went off on a tangent there. Well, there you go.
You don't always go off on a tangent, you know.
That's okay.
For sure.
I know, but that's what excitement does for you, you know. Now, Deji, I mean, given where we've been as a team and the kind of mixed results we've been having over the course of the season, right? Did you actually see that outcome coming today?
Hi, Soji, I didn't hear that.
Now, I said, given where we've been over the course of the season, right, and where Chelsea are, right? Did you see that coming today? The outcome of the match?
Oh yeah, honestly, I had hoped that I thought it was a good time to play them, and I felt that being solid and being at our place, I had a good feeling about the game. I wasn't disappointed, or I wasn't even surprised by us winning. I mean, I didn't think it was a banker, but I felt it was a good time to be playing Chelsea, and that if we brought anything close to our A game, I thought yes, we should get 3 points, and that's the way it's worked out. They're not scoring goals, so. Never a better time to play them.
Right. So, I mean, thank you guys for the comments. Keep the comments coming in. Subscribe, leave your comments, and also like the channel. Ben again says Stellini is only acting on what Conte tells him. You know, you need to listen to what Stellini says at the press conference. I guess there are 2 points of view to that, aren't there? I mean, there's those who would say that he wouldn't sell his boss down the river at the press conference and say that, oh no, he acted on his own, you know. But it's one of these catch-26 situations whereby if we did well and we won, of course he gets the praise. If we don't do that well and we lose, you know, he gets the hammer as well. So it's when you win, that sort of thing. So I guess, but however, we're in a good position in terms of the outcome of the matches since Don Conte has been away. Apart from the match against the matches against Milan and Leicester. Now, is that a coincidence, or just, I mean, players feeling the tension of having Don Conte on the sidelines?
To be honest, I don't really care. So far so good. If Stellini can carry on and he keeps winning, I'm very happy for Conte to keep phoning in and giving his instructions from afar. It seems to be working. To be fair, I'm sure that a lot of it is him following Conte's instructions. It's impossible to know how much is Stellini and how much is Conte if there is a difference. But there certainly seems to be a positive effect that Stellini is having on the team and is getting us points. So long may it continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Talks. I mean, you're smiling now. We have a fair few matches over the next few days. I mean, we have Sheffield United away in the
FA
FA
Cup.
Cup on Wednesday, and then Wolves away at the weekend as well. So we've still got quite a few tough games coming up over the next few. How do you see us performing in those matches? I guess it's one match at a time. And I know that. I mean, given what happened against Leicester, I mean, Selene will probably just have them for lunch if they didn't keep up that sort of level of performance.
I will start with your earlier question to DG. I was a bit worried that we didn't do our usual Tottenham thing, where a very poor side would now kick off and get their season started by beating us. So I
Tottenham.
had that. I really, really had that mini
Dr.
fear.
Spurs.
But when I put
know,
it on the
right?
forum and Tolu said no fair, and they put the punch sign up, I just thought, you know what? There's no reason why we can't beat Chelsea today. They look very weak, and thank goodness it came through. Now, for the other games, as you said, it's one game at a time. Sheffield, we can't just think we'll go there and beat them. We need to bring the same A game as we've done. I don't think it should even change anything because it's a knockout game. We can't even risk saying we want to bring in other players. He should just go with the same team he's done. And then same thing for Wolves. If he does this and we play the same way, I think we'll win both games.
Yeah. So I mean, Chuma. Okay, so we have Talk said, it's one game at a time, right? But if you look at today's game, and let's just have a look at some areas, the key areas on the field in this match, right? Match up against Chelsea. The first 15 minutes of the match, or first 20 minutes, they had like 70% possession, and we had like 30% of possession, right?
Yeah.
And again, like someone said earlier, we didn't create that many chances, or they didn't create that many chances, and I mean neither did we, but we just kept them at arm's length, without necessarily being that defensive, but we just couldn't come out of our half. We kept, losing the ball, like you said, and however, but if we look at if we look at the right wing, for instance, right, I thought Emerson actually did another fantastic job today. I know it's been okay, maybe not quite a man of the man performance like he did in the last few matches, but he still gave a decent account of himself.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so
We
here's the
agree.
thing. No, that's the thing. We all agree that Emerson is doing well, and I think one of the keys to this is the wing back position. I've always said that he's more right back than wing back.
Yeah.
But one of the things you watch when you watch wing backs play is the wing back. If the wing back can get into midfield and become part of the midfield, get to the skip goal. If you guys watch the game again, what led to the skip goal was a through ball from Kulusevski to him. Now I said in my head, if this guy was a real wing back / winger killer, he would have gone far side with the shot. He went near post and Kepa stopped it, but it spilled. And then his defender took it off him and cleared. But a normal player would have gone far side, and if he had palmed it down, Kane was rushing in. Richarlison and Kane were on that side but he went near, which but he played his position very, very well. In fact, one other thing is Reece James was playing defensively for Chelsea today, which is very interesting because that's one of him and Trent Alexander-Arnold have had a very bad time of it since the World Cup. They've not been their usual selves. And Tottenham contain him very, very well. But I want to go to Tokes' point about the one game at a time and not changing anything. I actually think that Son will come in as striker and Kane will sit for the Sheffield United match. I think he will go back to what he did in the previous cup competition, and he will put Son as a point man, and Richarlison and Kulusevski or Danjuma would come in. I think I believe that's a change that will come. I think it's too obvious that Danjuma hasn't played, and I think Danjuma will come on for a cup game. And I think Son, also being that he's on the bench, Son will start as striker. That's just what I think. I think that would be okay. Midfield, I don't think he'll change midfield too much. Maybe drop Højbjerg and bring Sarr and Skip in midfield. That's what I think. I think Sarr and Skip midfield, Danjuma and Son playing up front or as part of the front three. That's what I think will happen in midfield.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you're right. So we have we got essentially we got options now. I mean, like we didn't have as okay, not that we didn't have them, but they weren't available either because of injury or unavailability. Whatever the reason was, but it almost seems like if you look at the team again, even though we're still not 100% in terms of what I call availability of players. I mean, we've lost Bissouma, we've lost Bentancur, but Skip has stepped in quite nicely. So has Sarr, and it looks like at this point in time, things, even though they didn't seem to be coming together before now, but it just seems to be sort of slowly building up to that point whereby we're stepping up a gear. I mean, match by match, and getting better each match, right? Because if you look at this match, it wasn't quite like the City match in any way, shape, or form, and neither was it like the West Ham match. We kind of did what we needed to do in this match and play a little bit differently, in order to get the result from this match, which I thought was quite a depth from the team. And if you I don't know if you notice in the match, right? There were times when, again, what they did in the season match, that was step into the midfield, to keep up the numbers, and then when we were on the attack, he'll drop back. So we kept having that fluctuation of changes in the midfield, right? And I thought something else, right? That Romero's confidence on the ball is just absolutely amazing. I mean, let's just talk about Romero for 1 minute, right? Okay, he had one mini lapse of concentration at one point, right? However, I actually thought Romero was absolutely immense. I don't know what you guys think. You guys?
No, I don't agree.
Okay,
I think Romero almost gave me a heart attack.
Take it first.
There was a point in the game. I don't know whether it was his overconfidence. He became so over casual. He was strolling around in his position. There was even one time he lost the ball and had to lunge in. Luckily, it was a fair tackle.
He lunged in. Yeah. Luckily, he didn't get. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see his kick?
Yeah.
On who was it? On Merrick, who came on.
If you listen to what I said, right? I said that overall he was beastly, right? But there was one moment in the match when he kind of lost concentration for a few seconds. Right?
It wasn't one. No, he was kicking people. He kicked that Merrick guy in the last about 5 minutes. The ref missed it. He would have been off. He literally kicked him. Did you see it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna second my brother there. Like, yes, Romero had a good game. Yeah, he had but as I said, Romero could start a fight in an empty room by himself. There's just this thing of that his temperament is always on the edge. I love it. I love that he's on the edge, but it's gonna cost us. It's cost us already in the last few weeks. It's already cost us with him playing so far on the edge. Like, at the end of the day, we had a player similar that played on the edge, and then everyone said to him to calm down, and then he ended up in Turkey. His name was Dele Alli. So I'm not going to do that with. I'm not going to do that with Kuti as well. I'm not going to tell Kuti to calm down. But there was, as my brother said, there were times where he could have got sent off. He was pushing at players. He was, he was mistiming tackles almost. But at the end of the day, we need that edge. We actually need that edge from him because I don't see that edge coming from any other person in the team. So you need that kind of player in the team just to give you that edge for there, but he does play a risky game, QT. I love him, but he plays a risky game at times.
It gives me a heart attack constantly.
I know. So, because I mean, one of the things that Spurs have been accused of in the past has been the fact that we're too nice. We don't have that killer touch. We don't have that aggressive spark to us that when people come at us, we fold, right? But now it seems with Romero in the team, people know not to mess with those guys anymore. You know, I mean, look what he did to Haaland, right? Haaland just kind of just folded in that match, you know. And yeah, if you remember the match against West Ham as well. I mean, he just kept the strikers so quiet, you know.
Soji,
I think
I hear you.
Your screen seems to be upside down.
Oh,
I hear you, Soji, on having fire in our bellies, and I couldn't agree more. I hear you on aggression, but it has to be controlled. If
Absolutely.
you get sent off, your team is down to 10 men. The chances are that you're not going to win the game anymore. So yes, we love his aggression, but somebody's got to tell him you can't go around kicking people.
Listen, Romero kicked his own player who scored. You know, he kicked Emerson.
No, but you know that the first, I'm only in agreement if he does the thing like I said in the preview, the Vinnie Jones thing. First 5 minutes, pick their best player and completely sweep him. You're not going to get a yellow card first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just sweep the guy. But you made the statement to him that this is you all night. I'm going to. When you do that, for me, that's perfect. But when you're getting to the last 5 minutes, because my fear after the second goal, so this is how bad, like 1-0 isn't safe. 2-0 nowadays isn't safe anymore. You know, even 3-0 to a point. But when it was 2-0, I said, you don't want something stupid like this Modric guy coming on.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang coming on. And Aubameyang has this, thing for scoring against Spurs. You don't want them coming on and Romero now does something stupid and gets a red. And these guys now have 10 against, and they just equalize. I just said in my head, I said in the preview, draw, but I'm hoping for a win. I said Chelsea can come. So my mind was draw, and I said, if this guy now starts doing this, is nonsense now. I love Cuti Romero. I think, in fact, my view is this. I think he should play middle of the three. But the only problem is we don't have anyone like him to play right centre back. But if Cuti played middle, I think he would be better. I think he would be more chilled. This right centre back where he can bring the ball forward and stuff, sometimes he goes a little loopy, after a while, and
he loses concentration from time to time.
Anyone can pull him back
him to stop kicking people. He kicks people. He can't be kicking people.
There's a statement I heard from someone the other day that was describing someone else, and the person was a deaf Jack Russell. And if you know those Jack Russell dogs, when they go off, they can't come back in. You can't hold the dog back. Romero is one of those guys. He's a Jack Russell. Right? As soon as he goes,
he's a dog.
You're trying to,
but you need a dog.
Calm down.
Every team needs their dog. You need a dog in your team. If you don't have a dog in your team, people are gonna bully you. Now they're talking.
It's just don't get a red card. That's my views.
Yeah.
Do it with wisdom. Thiago Silva is a guy. Yeah. Thiago Silva does that same thing for Chelsea, but he's a very wise guy. Thiago Silva does some dirty things and some clean things, but he does it with sense. Where he doesn't get, Kuti doesn't have the experience yet, not to know when to do those things and not get a yellow. That's my view.
Did you see his elbow on Kuti today? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if you remember, talking about Thiago Silva.
Minutes.
Okay, so I mean, when after the post-match comments, Jimmy Floyd, I think he was the pundit on the Sky channel, and he was saying that Silva going off was crucial for Chelsea because he was like a key person in that team, and to try to balance out or keep things on a calm edge and sort of because of his wealth of experience, and Fofana coming in maybe quite didn't have the same sort of impact in organizing the defense, because he felt that in situations like Harry Kane's second goal, for instance, right? Maybe he would have been caught offside if they had all moved in unison as a defensive line.
Facts. But how did Thiago Silva get injured? Do you remember? 17th minute, Kane did a nutmeg and Kane was through. But for Thiago Silva, Kane would have had it.
Yeah.
You understand? So he got injured saving his team. He overextended himself. And that's the thing. As soon as he left, I said we have a chance.
He then collided with Koulibaly.
Really
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because he overextended. And that he had no control. But yeah, as soon as he leaves, you're right. And it was Sterling who was marking Kane, if you watch. I thought that was a huge mistake for Raheem Sterling because as soon as Kane shoved him, Sterling, because he's not a defender, didn't come back. A defender, you shove him, he's coming straight back. Sterling left him. You watch the game. I think they will rip Sterling to shreds.
I don't understand why Sterling was marking Kane in all the corners.
Yeah.
Sterling was marking Kane in all the corners. I'm like, this is a problem waiting to happen right now.
Yeah. And I think they noticed
mismatch
because it's something
I know, but
you should put your best centre back on Kane, and
so we have
Kane,
a situation where we're like, everyone underrates us now. They don't give us a chance, you know. Oh, when they're talking about top four, we're kind of out of everyone's reckoning. You know, it's like, oh, forget Spurs. You know, they wouldn't do it. You know, because okay, Man U are playing really well now. Newcastle, okay, they are thereabouts. New owners, plenty of money, confidence brewing in their ranks. They got a chance of a trophy. You know, so all of that are factors are sort of working in their favor, right? Now, from our perspective, right, all we just need to do is keep winning our games, and we'll be there or thereabouts. Now, how do you rate our top four chances from how we're playing now? And I know we did say one game at a time, you know, but hey, it's always good to look forward and show some optimism. You have your hand up.
I have my hand up, sir. Yes, sir. I want to answer this question, sir, please.
Okay.
You know why I keep looking down like this? My eyes going down like this. Because I'm watching Newcastle versus Man United.
Right.
And it always dawns upon me. Whoever wins that game, is going to have that, you know, when they win the trophy in February and they have that slump afterwards, after they've won the trophy, like, they relax. Newcastle will relax. After they've won that trophy, Newcastle will relax. Like, we've won trophy now. Yeah? That's when Tottenham can take advantage. Similar with Man United. Man United are chasing trophies as well. If they win the Carabao Cup, I see them coming off the gas a bit. Maybe less so than if Newcastle won it, but I think that is going to be very telling. Tottenham have to do what they done last season and put the blinkers on. We cannot watch what's going on around us. We just have to focus every week on getting 3 points. The moment that we start looking above or looking below, that's when we derail ourselves, and that usually happens. So we have to have what we've done similar last season and just have the blinkers on for in front of us and behind us and do our best to keep tread out. The other challenge that we have is the deeper we go into the FA Cup and the deeper we go into the Champions League is going to affect our league form, I think, in the long run. So I think that that's when the squad is needed, but we are already running thin when it comes to squad. So I think that's going to dictate whether we get top four. We might not even need to get top four. We might be in Istanbul lifting the biggest trophy. You never know.
I know. Hey, we really hope so too. Keep your comments coming in. TR Flavor says, this is Chelsea, you know. I mean, don't forget that, you know, we're too nice. Well, we're not nice anymore, you know. And this time we're all in. This is the Premier League, you know, all is fair in love and war. We used to get bullied by those teams in the past, right? Because we have a soft underbelly. Not anymore. That's what TR Flavor said. Eric says that it was a good time to play the Chavs. I didn't expect they'll be that low on confidence, right? It was a game, and you can see that they came for a draw from the get go, right? Or a smash and grab. Yeah, like TR Flavor also says, play game by game. Keep your comments coming in. Thank you so much for those comments. Right, any thoughts on those?
Oh, what the
But
Chavs?
it's like
Which Chavs? We played Chavs last week. We played Chavs this week. Which Chavs are you talking about?
it's like if there was ever a team, that was what do you call it? What's that Alex Ferguson's famous statement? Lads, it's Tottenham. If there was a personification of that statement as a team, it's Chelsea. Chelsea could be going through their worst stage in their lives. As soon as they meet Tottenham, it's on. They just switch on. So for them to get to this game and they did not switch on and win, I called my cousin. I said, "You guys are finished. Like Chelsea are finished. Like this is your game. This is what resets your season.
West Ham Cup final, Chelsea Cup final. Is there a cup final against us?
No, it's West Ham. It's West Ham's cup. It's West Ham's cup final. It's Chelsea's reset. Whatever is going on in their life, it resets them. But for West Ham, it's their cup final, and West Ham's lost their cup final. Chelsea have lost their reset. So wherever Chelsea are now, they're not going to go above it. I personally believe they're not going to go above it. That's it. Their season is done. If they couldn't beat Spurs at this point with what they had, they're done this season. I have no fear.
Absolutely.
Whatever games in hand
now,
they have.
I say, squad issues are the major challenge according to our flavor. Now, if we sort of hold it for a few seconds and say, hang on, I know that we have this hoodoo that Chelsea have over us, right? And in the last few matches as well, we kind of struggled against West Ham, even though we normally beat them, but we kind of had struggle with them in the last few matches that we played against them, right? But this season, apart from a match against Arsenal, we've done really well in London derbies this year. We beat Fulham, we beat Crystal Palace away. We've beaten Chelsea now. We drew with them away. West Ham we drew away and we beat them at home. So overall, I thought we've done really well in London derbies this year. Any thoughts on that? Any reason why we think that that's happened?
Because they're not in the top 6. That's the reason why we didn't beat Chelsea, because they're not in the top 6.
Yeah.
Aside is the one in the top 6.
They're not that good this year.
Aside is the one in the top 6. All the rest are not in the top 6. So what's our own?
Fact.
But you can only play what you have in front of you. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Now,
you
someone
know,
said that
Chelsea.
Okay, in terms of squad depth, right? We have what I call the makings of a solid squad. I mean, even though there's still areas where we need to improve, and but having said that, though, I looked at Chelsea's bench today, and someone sent a message in one of the groups that belong to and said that bench alone could have built Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium.
I said that. That's what I said. It was me. He said it cost half the price of Tottenham Stadium, that bench alone.
Do you know what I mean? Because they've
so much go on. Sorry.
Spent so much money, right? Even though I'm not, this is not about Chelsea here. This is about Tottenham. And my dad, who actually watches this program as well, he actually said we should have done a bit more on Chelsea in terms of analysis and stats. I said no. This is not about Chelsea. This is about us. So hang on, where did Chelsea go from here? You think taxi for Mr. Potter?
Mr. Potter, if be careful with that, he doesn't have a parking space tomorrow at Cold Chobham.
Did you have a point? Did you have a point earlier on? I wanted to hear what
Yeah. Chelsea, they are the ultimate yo-yo team. Forget about Potter. If Potter doesn't get it right, they'll get rid of him. And they'll get themselves a top coach. And next season they'll be back. And they'll be in the top 4. They are the ultimate. They've done this for years and years and years. So they can write
this is not their first rodeo.
They will write this season off tomorrow. But they will come back next season with a proper coach if Potter doesn't get it right. And they'll be right up there again because they have the resources. So they write off seasons like old Naira notes. They nothing to them at all.
The only problem is that old Naira notes, you can't cash them in. So they have to throw them away and then buy another $500 million squad again. That's the thing about Chelsea. My brother's right. My brother is right. They'll just write off the season and they'll go and cash in again, buy a new coach, buy another, and they'll just do the same nonsense again.
Right? Yeah.
No problem.
Right now, I think what's going on, I think especially after this game, I think they're going to be auditioning coaches. I think right now Todd Bowley's look. I saw they flashed onto his face, and you could see his face. His face was like thunder. That guy is going to start interviewing coaches from today, and they'll get rid of Potter at some point. They could probably let Potter ride the season, but I think that guy is looking at top 4 coaches in the world or whoever is available. I don't think they are beyond going back to beg Tuchel to come back, but it's just a pride thing. But they're looking, I believe they're fervently looking for coaches right now, and they're going to get rid of this guy, come thing, and pay him off.
But I think that Todd Bowley was more angry. Right, I think the Todd Bowley was more angry that Potter was not playing 4-4-3 formation for the team. You know, he's an advocate for the 4
people in that team. Hello.
No, it's like
4-4-3.
What's really sad? I don't know if anyone else on the panel has heard that, you know, like Mourinho wants another crack, and I said Potter is playing so badly that they could go back to Mourinho, which I think will be hilarious as well, because Mourinho will come in. I think the players are too young. The players they've got are too young for Mourinho. Mourinho likes, so I don't think Bowley as well he's stubborn. I don't think he's going to get rid of all this young talent to get older players and more experienced players and Mourinho. So, but I'll be curious to see if Mourinho would come back for, was it like a 3rd stint or a 4th stint with Chelsea? I don't know. It'll be interesting, but Potter is playing so poorly right now at Chelsea. If this guy can survive to next season, I'll be surprised. And if he does, he could literally turn it around. But I just think their history of firing
There's no type of
hiring,
Harry Potter magic. There's no Harry Potter magic that can magic this Chelsea back into any form again, you know. I think that I don't think he's lost the dressing room, because by all accounts, they say that, you know, they like Potter. They like him. But how can 30, 40 players have the same opinion? I don't know.
For me, it's the Aubameyang thing. Aubameyang is the key to this team, because
it's obvious. Why did he not play Aubameyang today? If he played Aubameyang, it would be a different story.
Did you see Aubameyang's face?
It would have made sense.
If you had played Aubameyang, it would have been. I was sweating. I was thinking, if this Aubameyang plays, we're in trouble.
No, if I thought Aubameyang was going to start today. That was my fear, because I
yeah,
thought
if this guy looks at history,
he should know players players that play well against us.
Much rusty anyway. He hasn't really played that many matches this season, so even if he comes on, it's probably going to be very, very much rusty. So
it's just his presence. His presence would have helped.
So I mean,
the problem with Aubameyang is that Chelsea bought him on Wednesday and they sacked Tuchel on Friday. I never understood that. They went and bought him for how many million? 10 million for Barcelona on Wednesday. By Friday, they sacked the manager that bought him. This stupid bully. I don't know what he's going on.
That's his style.
Too much money.
Too much.
And keep your comments coming in. This is ComeonyespursTV, where we talk about everything Spurs. Today, we're looking at Tottenham against Chelsea. And we're reviewing the match that took place at Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. Spurs running out winners 2-0. First time at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium, and the 3rd clean sheet on the trot. And we've looked at the defense, we've looked at the midfield with Mr. Sarr, but Son came on as a substitute. You know, everyone thought he was going to come on for Richarlison, but he came on for Kulu. And guess what? He delivered the corner that resulted in the goal. Even though he had a bit of a flick on from there, that would have been another goal to the Spurs, to the Son. Kane comes on. You know, Tokes, what do you think?
Well, for me, as I said earlier, I was happy Richarlison started. And the fact that it was Kulu that came on showed that Richarlison did well and held his space for a while. Now, that corner, I was like, Son, please don't bubble this. You know, sometimes he has those funny corners that just goes anywhere. But this one was on the button because Dyer was able to maybe press down or leap over a defender.
Climb all over Mount.
So it worked. If everything just worked very, very well. So I was happy that Son came in to play that corner. And you could tell he wasn't happy being benched. I could see some more energy and drive in him. But he still needs to be careful in in not losing the ball. He just has this new thing of losing the ball in dangerous areas. He has to protect the ball better or pass quickly or quicker. Sorry.
Yeah, and
But so far, so
that was the first goal since Harry Kane broke the record, eh?
There-
Another
there-
Kane,
there's,
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
and
there's an
that's,
interesting thing
that's
in
20
Sony as
goals in the
well.
season. 9 seasons on the trot. How many seasons on the trot now?
9.
9 seasons on the trot.
Nine.
For a 1
20
season
goals.
wonder, eh?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I just saw an
Amazing.
advert on. I just saw something on TV that said Antonio Conte is a great advert for remote working.
Second,
Zoom. We should be sponsored by Zoom.
Antonio Conte is a great advert for remote working.
Yes,
Working
it
remotely.
is.
It's true.
Working from home, eh?
Google Workplace. Google Workplace,
But
you
can I
know.
ask a question?
Webcam.
What a better advert for working from home than Antonio Conte is at the moment.
Soji,
Oh my goodness.
can you pull out the difference
That's amazing.
when
that is
Conte
so
is on
hilarious,
the
you know?
touchline or Cellini is on the touchline?
In terms of stats.
Can you pick out one difference?
Deji,
Yep.
Deji.
Chokes was saying something, Soji, can you hear him?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry, say that again.
I was asking the panel generally, can you pick out in one sentence the difference when Stellini is on the touchline or when Conte is on the touchline?
One thing.
Silence.
Silence
They're
from
not
who?
talking.
As in silence, there's no one talking. He's not animated on the play. You know, you have this Conte cam where you
let
look
the
at
players.
him and he's animated. He's
You
shouting.
let
He's
the players
making
figure it
movements.
out for themselves.
But I
Let
mean,
the players
Sterling
figure it
doesn't
out
say
for
anything. He just sort of keeps down coolly and, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
just
there's
noticed they
probably
don't
more
panic
freedom
more. I
to
think
express themselves.
Chuma had mentioned it earlier. Sorry, Deji. I'm sorry, I'm
No, go
interrupting.
ahead. No, go ahead, Chokes, please.
What I noticed, Chuma and I think Yinka said it, they play more free, they're freer for some reason, and they don't backpedal into our 18. That's the most obvious thing. They don't wait till the opponent get into our 18 before we start playing. That's such a major, and I wonder why we do that with Conte. And I think Chuma answered it, and Yinka answered it as well. They're just freer. They're freer to play their style and their game. I might be wrong, but that's just what I
No,
No, you
I
make
think
a good
you're
observation.
right. I think you're
You make
right.
a good observation, you know, because Conte, you see how animated he is on the touchline. That's part of his DNA, being on the touchline, how
they all
animated.
retreat. They all
And as
retreat
Chuma
to
said,
their
players are
18.
scared. They're scared to make mistakes because he's right there shouting at you from 10 yards away to get back or get in. He's trying to coach you from there. I think he just needed a bit of, you know, like a bit of space for them to make their own. They're grown-up boys. They're grown-up men. They should be able to work this stuff out for themselves and then have a talking to at half time. So it's not. I just think it's a nice relief that they've had with Stellini being a bit more of a reserved type of character on the sideline. I think they've been wise enough to make the decisions on the pitch themselves rather than Don Conte shouting and cajoling them and telling you to run back and pick up your trousers, stop doing, you know, every little detail, Conte wants to manage on the pitch. He's a
To answer
micromanager.
my own question,
Yeah,
I
so,
think
I
they
mean,
express
we've had.
themselves better.
Second?
I think they express themselves better in the context of the formation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so we've had, what's the word? Good performance with Conte away. Stellini handling it for him while he's away. What do you guys say? Stellini for president?
Yes, he should stay. Let Conte be remote working. We don't mind. He needs to stay with his family.
Work from home.
We're happy with the status.
I know, right?
Zoom working, you know.
So
We all
just
have to work
keep up
from
the
Zoom.
Zoom appearance whereby, okay, he just worked from home and
Also, may I add remote working for Larissa as well.
Do you know, No. Lloris is coming back. Lloris is coming back.
Let's be real. Let's be real. It's a combination of the two things. Lloris is gone as well. So.
No,
That is
Lloris is in
hilarious.
rehab. He's in rehab at the moment, you know. Let him relax as well.
You know, maybe he needs to remote work. He should be sending instructions to Foster, like, do this way, and Foster just carries out, project manage the situation and go. You know, maybe it
Let
could
me
work
tell
out for
you
rest of the season.
guys.
It can give him.
Lloris gives the back three the jitters. For some reason, they're all like dropping the ball. They're like, you know, handling soap and water. They're just not comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
Playing
Foster.
from the back, they don't know what he's gonna do. That is kicking is so awkward. He goes to the, I don't know how he even kicks the ball. He's so left-brained and left-footed and left-sided.
Right. Foster just gets the ball and boot the ball out. He doesn't play all this.
He plays to the obvious, the most free-up defender, which is, there's no threats. Lloris can just kick the ball.
We have this
under pressure.
So we have a situation whereby, okay, everyone's been saying that come end of the season, we might have a decision to make in terms of the coach, right? That chances are that Conte might not stay, or that we might have Poch back, we might have Zebri. You know, there's so much speculation in that regard, right? And what I always say is this, right? The only reason we have those sort of speculations is because results are not going our way. If we keep winning, we won't have this discussion. So, my view is that come the end of the season, if we win a trophy and remain in the top four, Conte is not going anywhere. What do you guys think?
Let me on that one. I'm not so sure. It's down to the management. I think that Conte may feel that he still wants to walk because he's not getting what he wants at Tottenham. I think about 4 or 5 weeks ago, before he took ill, it was quite obvious that he'd had it up to here and really wasn't very happy at all. I think with Poro coming in, which is perhaps a buy that he wanted, he may have started to feel again that maybe they are going to pander.
We've got a Chelsea fan. We've got a Chelsea fan in the house.
Really?
You have a comment to make, Chelsea fan? Hey, what do you have to say? Good result for you guys or for us? Hey, Miss Hastrop. Anyway, right. So
JJ, still
like you're saying, did you?
About,
Yeah. So I think it may be more Conte walking than us asking him to leave. If come the end of the season he's not happy and he doesn't think he's going to get what he wants off the Tottenham board, then I think he'll leave whatever we want, and then we'll have to look for somebody else. And I suspect that conversation will be had before the end of the season, so that we would have started lining people up by that time. At least I hope that's the way it works out. I can see him going even if we get top 4.
I don't think Conte knows who he's playing with, you know. He doesn't know. Conte doesn't know who he's playing with. Conte could get to the Champions League final in Istanbul, and the week before, Daniel Levy will sack him just to make sure that he doesn't get the... It's been done before. Plenty times. They've done it in the Carling Cup. They've done it to George Graham a week before the FA Cup final in 2001, if you guys want to remember that. They've done it 2 seasons ago in 2021. There's nothing stopping Daniel Levy from saying, and Daniel Levy could probably sack him and then let Stellini take that game. So I don't think it's down to Don Conte. I think it's still down to ENIC. What I'm trying to say, in without being jovial, is that ENIC holds the power in this. Daniel Levy holds the power in this.
I back Deji's comment, and I'll explain why, Yinka. It's the same thing that happened with Mourinho at Manchester United. Mourinho never bought a house, and you and I, all of us know here that it's so easy to buy a house outside London. he didn't buy a house. He lived in that hotel. His family never moved from London to Manchester. Now, this is not even Turin to Manchester. This is London to Manchester. Mourinho's family never moved. Mourinho was in London every weekend. that was already an indication where his heart was. And then once Manchester United and him didn't gel. Antonio Conte's family have not moved. The first story I read about that was his daughter was doing the equivalent of the GCSEs. That's why they couldn't move down. They wanted their daughter to finish and then come to London. That was last year. She's done the exams. His wife and his daughter have not moved to London. That told me this guy has no interest in staying. That was just this is my personal opinion. I think he has no interest.
I agree.
Because where your family is situated, and then you buy a house. You don't live in a hotel. You buy a house, you bring your wife and your daughter, and I know you're a serious man. He never did that. It was never about Levy fulfilling his promises. I personally believe that even if we bought every player this man wanted to buy and it wasn't doing well, he would say, nah, it's not for me. And now I look at the top 3 Italian sides, Juventus, Inter, and AC Milan. There's rumors that they're all going to get rid of their managers at the end of the season. Allegri is trying to make a comeback, but that 15 points they lost, they just feel, yeah, it's time to get rid. Inter Milan have Inzaghi's brother, Simone. Simone Inzaghi has not been playing well. It's still the same Chinese guys that hold the team, but they are sorry that they let Conte go. So they want him back. And AC Milan, up until they played Dr. Spurs, they tanked 4-0, 5-0. They were losing games, and Pioli has lost the love of the... So these are situations. And of those situations, I actually see Milan because he's coached the other 2 sides. And Milan have money to bring in players that he wants as well. And he's going to be in Italy. And he made a comment about Milan once, enjoying being back at the San Siro. And I looked at it like a veiled flattery thing for them. So I understand that because he wants to be close to his family. He has his only child. He doesn't want to be separated from them. So I looked at it and I said, and his contract is running out. He's saying, I'm going to wait till the end of the season. I'm like, no. If you are really serious about the Spurs project, you felt the Spurs guys were serious enough for you, you'd have signed the contract, bought a house, and brought your family. So I think he's going to go. And I think it's going to be, for me, I think it's between De Zerbi and Pochettino. De Zerbi's, the problem is you're not only going to pay him a lot of money, you have to pay a severance fee with Brighton, which I think is in the region of 15 million. That's why I think Pochettino being free, not because Pochettino had his history with us, but because Pochettino is a free buy. He's a free transfer. He has a better chance. But I think they're going to go back to the model of getting attacking managers because now they're watching Arsenal play attacking football and win. Spurs are the club that always watch other people sometimes, especially Daniel Levy. So they want attacking. This thing, we've had this reactive stuff for like 3 years now. It's not working. He wants to go back to attack. And I look at it like, yeah, I think Conte is gone at the end of the season. That's just whether he wins. I think I would love for him to win the FA Cup or the Champions League. But regardless of what he wins, he'll use it as thank you. I came, I delivered.
Remember what we said before, Chuma? This season is the last dance. It's the last dance.
Yeah.
People are going at the end of this season, whether we like it or not. Players, coaches.
Yeah, one of the things we don't do at Tottenham, we don't kick a good man when they're down. I mean, I've got plenty of Chelsea fans, flooding my what's the word, my timeline before the match, right? And after the match, suddenly they're telling me, oh, we're playing dirty because we mentioned the fact that we beat them 2-0. I mean, come on. How's that dirty? We just sort of mentioned the fact that we won a game. That's all.
They have nothing more to talk about in their life.
Did you see that shot?
There's just so much to sort of discuss today. Now, we're not going to talk about how much Chelsea spent, how much the squad is worth, or how badly they're playing at the moment, or how things aren't just going their way. I mean, we're more interested in how we, as Tottenham, can improve ourselves.
We're interested in top 4 teams. We're not interested in people in mid-table. We're not interested in mid-table teams. We don't talk about mid-table teams. We talk top 6. But Tux, you were saying something. Sorry, Tux was saying something earlier.
Yeah, I was asking, did anybody see that shot during the match where the cameraman zoomed in onto, is it Tom Bailey, the Chelsea chairman? And the commentator said, oh, he's looking to find out who he can purchase next. He's looking for a player because the guy was on his phone. So the commentator goes, oh, he's calling his agent to buy a player for a
Yeah, I heard that. Yes.
Make an interesting point. You make a very interesting point. Do you know of another club owner that is ridiculed as much as Todd Bowley is at the moment? I don't think that they respect this guy whatsoever. He might have all the money in the world, but we don't take him seriously. Nobody takes him
he's not a
seriously.
football person. No, it's too much
And
money.
Yeah,
I
guess what?
respect him.
Those
Though.
guys probably win the Champions League next season. Can't rule it out.
No, but I respect. No, yeah, I respect him, Yinka, because he came here with an American team mentality, and he showed us a loophole that nobody knew about. Here's a guy who came from America and showed us this loophole of extending payments, 10-year contract, 8-year contract. No other Premier League owner had thought of.
that's franchise. That's NBA franchise style. Yeah. That's like franchise.
I mean?
NBA
He's
franchise.
gotten some of the best young talents in Europe by not paying full money for them. Have you ever heard that? Daniel Levy is the only human being that would attempt that kind of thing, but Daniel Levy will do it in a very cheeky way. But this guy came from America. He's shown a loophole that UEFA have to close before next year. If not, everyone else is going to jump on it and go, you know what, we'll pay you 140 over 10 years. We'll pay you 140 million. Let's take your player now. He showed us that thing. And I think he's that crazy that he can get what he wants. And this guy, in 2-3 seasons, he's going to win as many trophies as chairman of Chelsea. I believe it. I personally believe it. He's going to win trophies at Chelsea. It's just right now, they can ridicule him all they want. Yeah. Once he gets the right coach, he still spends the money, however they're getting their money. That guy is winning. He's winning the league or he's winning cups next year. If not this season, if they fluke their way to the Champions League, Chelsea have that, they have the status and the experience to win the Champions League, even under Potter. As mad as it seems, they just have that thing. So you never know. But right now they're 10th and they should accept their position as a mid-table team, and we don't talk about them on this. Sorry.
They're
Imagine
closer to the bottom than they are to the top.
half a billion pound mid-table team. That's serious.
I know, right? So, does this... Okay, I know for those on the dark side, right? This might be one of those questions that kind of would be great if I ask the question, right? The question is this, right? If Mr. Levi has spent the sort of money that, what's the word? Boy he's spending in Chelsea, would that keep the natives at bay or not?
Would it keep who at bay?
Would that keep the natives at bay, as in the Spurs fans, as in say, look, okay, definitely. I spent the money, here it is. So
no, seriously, Soji.
He spent money.
If Tottenham had bought the players that Conte wanted, we would have a happier squad, we'd have a more successful squad, and you'd have a happier fan base. Even though they'd be playing not the kind of football that we like, they'd be winning, and we'd live with that. But Conte hasn't got the players that he wants.
He's got off the players.
I would add to that that if you're not going to spend the money Conte wanted to get the kind of players Conte wanted to play winning football, then play attacking football, and he doesn't do that. So that's where we're in that little quandary. We're not playing attacking football that fans want, and you're not playing winning football that is effective because you don't have the players, and that's the problem. It was never about spending the money for me. It was the manager wanted a certain specification of players. Get those players. If you can't get it, then why get the manager? That's always been my issue with Daniel Levy. Yeah. If you're going to get Mourinho, you're going to get Conte, get the kind of guys they want. If you can't, then leave those guys alone and get a De Zerbi, get a Tuchel, get guys that play beautiful football that would manage, like Paulo Fonseca at Lille. He's playing beautiful football at Lille in France. He could have been with us and playing regular football and would have been growing as Levy wants. But Levy wants to get, Lamborghini results. He has a Honda Civic budget. Sorry, it doesn't happen.
You're right. I couldn't agree more.
Oh, sorry. I just didn't realize that are we fourth in the Premier League? I'm sorry. I just want to confirm.
Yes, we are.
And we're still in the last 16 of the Champions League, and we're still in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I'm just sorry.
But for the grace of God,
Anakin Walker, please. It's not Anakin Walker.
You have a point. But it's almost like we're fluking it, to be perfectly honest. We're there.
I agree. We're the worst To be honest, this is like the worst Tottenham team to be this high in the league that I can remember in living memory.
You know what just flashed in my mind now. What flashed in my mind was I was watching this thing on YouTube, which was the road to the '82 World Cup, and I was watching Italy. Italy were so rubbish in that '82 World Cup. I wasn't like really conscious to know anything, but it was so fluky till they got to Brazil and fluked out the best Brazilian team for generations. Yeah. And I look at Tottenham the same way, like we're just getting these things and we're going where we're going, you know, and we'll end the season where we're not playing well, we're fourth, where we might win a cup or two, you never know. And it just be like, wouldn't it be so Spurs of us to like at our worst moment? Because even the 2008 team that won the League Cup, let's not forget, Juande Ramos was not playing good football. He was trying to, but Spurs were not playing really well, and we won that League Cup. People like to think that was a great year. 2008 was not a great season, and he got sacked the next year. He got sacked instantly the next year. No one remembers that, and this is the same thing happening now. We're fluking and playing well, effectively winning, and we're still there. We're thereabouts, which is like Inka said, it's true. We're just there.
Absolutely,
wouldn't be surprised.
And you know, guys, that 5 point cushion that we have now is going to put Newcastle under all kinds of pressure. There's no way they're crumbling. The next 2 games to overhaul us. They won't get.
They're crumbling as well.
They're crumbling before my eyes.
They're already started crumbling in February, like Arsenal were. They're having their apple crumble February as well, Newcastle. And if they don't win this cup, they could be disheartened. If they win this cup, they could say, because Alan Shearer was on news yesterday saying winning the cup is more important than fourth. And I said, really? Okay. So if you don't win and you don't get fourth, you've wasted your season. So let's see what happens.
Down, by the way.
It's happened to Tottenham. It's happened to Tottenham. When we lost against Chelsea in the Carling Cup in 2017 under Pochettino, our season flopped after that. Even 2001 under Ryan Mason, when we lost that final, our season petered out after that, you know. So it does affect you when you lose these finals. It does. So I think that we can take
2-0 down, eh?
Yeah, I think they're 2-0 down at the moment. They're getting cooked. They're crumbling down. Yeah, they're crumbling now.
My only problem is this Ten Hag of a guy. I think this Ten Hag guy is a winner.
It's the real deal. I think it's the real deal.
I think this Ten Hag guy Ten Hag is going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. I think he's going to build on. Now by winning this thing, he's gotten the hearts of Manchester United fans, and they're going to give him the money. And if they get taken over, Ten Hag is going to be a problem.
When you win a trophy in your first season, it gives you time. That's why Arteta is still here today, because he won that trophy in his first season, and it gives the board time, and it gives the fan that little extra time to get your point across. That's why Arsenal are reaping the benefits today. Similar with Ten Hag and Man United. So, yeah, I think Tottenham need to. We just got to win something. Please, just let me win something. Let me see one ampit. I just want to hold something. See the ampit, man.
Yeah. We need
to don't let me cry on YouTube on live TV at the moment, man.
So guys. So we're in a good place, like you said. Yinka, like you alluded to, tongue in cheek, like when the fifth round of the FA Cup. We're still in the quarterfinal of the of Champions League, so last 16 rather, and then we're in the top 4. I mean, so there's still plenty to play for, and plenty of twists and turns coming in along the way, and we seem to have sort of head in the right direction in that respect. So I mean, we are in a positive place. I mean, I think. I mean, what do you guys think?
This is the toughest month. I say that February is one of the toughest months in the calendar, because you have everything congested in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you could be out of everything by the end of February. You could be out of the league, you could be out of the Champions League, you could be out of the FA Cup by the end of February. If we can negotiate this February and we're still in all these competitions in top 4, then let's talk. Let's talk.
February is over.
Huh? So what let's talk then. That's what I'm saying. Let's talk. We're doing okay.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a cracking episode. I thank you guys for being here. It's been absolutely fantastic. You know, I know that we're on the cusp of a great thing. I think I just get that feeling in me. You know, just sort of taking one step at a time, one game at a time. Guys, we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday when we play Sheffield United after the match. So if you guys are available, we're doing a post-match, live stream after the match against Sheffield United. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Keep the comments coming if you watch this. If you don't watch this live, and thanks for all those who have contributed as well. If you haven't subscribed, of course, please subscribe to the channel. Share with your relatives and friends and your community, and also, of course, like the channel as well. If you need to get notified anytime we go live, please click on the notification bell button and you'll be notified. Deji, final words.
Well, a win's a win's a win. Long may it continue. Nobody wants to lose. Even if we play badly and win, I'll live with it. The only thing we don't want to do is to be losing. So a win's a win, and I'm happy with that. Long may it continue.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Tokes?
Yep, the same theme as my Leonard Silk. A win is a win. Let's continue winning and everybody be smiling. Thank you.
Beautiful. Chooks?
In Stellini, I trust.
We've got Stellini at the wheel. We've got Stellini at the wheel. Yes, definitely, man. We've got Stellini at the wheel, man. We've gone from East London to West London. We've dealt with these two guys, the chaps from the East and the chaps from the West. And so onwards and upwards.
We dealt with Crystal Palace in the South, didn't we?
Sorry?
Yeah.
We dealt with Crystal Palace in the South.
We don't Crystal Palace too.
Now only North remain.
Just those guys on the road,
That's
right?
our own territory. That's our own backyard. We have to chill, you know? So
thank you, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oji.
Have a good evening, gentlemen.
You guys.
Take care.
All Chelsea fans are welcome.
Enjoy.
All Chelsea fans are welcome to come join us every week. If you're having a bit of trouble on your own platforms, come and join us on Come On You Spurs. We'll welcome you.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Take care.
Have a good one. Have a blessed one, guys.
Bye.
Still on? Hasn't played. How
Oh,
come Yinka is not on the Nigerian?
Thank you so much,
How
guys.
come Yinka is not on the WhatsApp group?
Bye, guys. Take care. Bye.
Right.
Bye.